also have the management of Escorts joining us on their November sales numbers. Bharat Madan, Group CFO at Escorts, on the phone line. We saw a number of, a massive uptick really in your numbers this time around. If we look at your increase in tractor sales, it saw an increase of 6.5%. Domestic tractor sales of that went up 5.2%. Exports as well grew 64.8%. Just take us through a few of the highlights of what really factored into your November sales numbers. We were, of course, looking at it on a lower base compared to demonetization last time around, but it is one of the months that is post all the kind of disruptions that we'd seen in terms of GST. Just take us through really what played into the numbers this time.
I think first of all, what I like to mention is the numbers which you reported are wholesale numbers. So what really got the effect was because of demonetization was on the retail sale. So on that lower base this time, we've seen the retail sale done very well. It's grown actually about 23% in November. But the number which you reported is a wholesale number. So if you look at the last 3 months' performance, so we have grown almost in line with the industry. We were 17-18% sort of growth rate in volume which has happened. And we had given an indication earlier also that Q3 probably will show slower growth compared to the last quarter, because in Q2 we've seen a lot of preponement which had happened, the festive demand. So the season started early in September. So we're expecting some dip will happen, and we've seen the industry going down actually in October by about 3.5%, which we expect will get made up in November and December. So overall Q3 probably will still be giving you about 5 to 8% sort of growth. So far in the last 2 months, industry is only 3.5%. So maybe December will just slightly better growth rate, 10 to 15% growth we expect will happen in December. So overall Q3 about 7 to 8% growth rate, but Q4 we expect to be a good rebound, which should happen in the demand, and we expect industry should grow about 15 to 20%. So overall for the full year, tractor industry will still do 13 to 14% growth rate. So demand remains very strong on the ground.
And sir, how much did you say will you annually end up by? On an average 12 to 13% for the full year?
Yeah, that's right. So that's the sort of growth which will happen for the industry.
Understood. So if you can take us through the export side of the business. On a low base, we've seen very robust growth constantly that's played out. But to what extent do you think, after what level do you think will we see some kind of normalization in terms of export growth? Or do you believe that this kind of huge accretion on a month-on-month basis is sustainable? If yes, for how long?
Yes, if you look at our export numbers are very low. So we're sitting on a very low base. Last year we did only about 1,000 odd tractors. So this year we guided for almost 100% growth and export volume to about 2,000 plus numbers. And this is a trend which you're saying this year will keep continuing. Next year we expect, I think the growth should be in the very high double digit, could be maybe within 60 to 80% sort of volume growth is possible on the full year basis in export number. So long-term target is still to fully look at somewhere around 8 to 10,000 tractor export in the next 4 to 5 years, and this year will be ending only about 2,200 odd numbers. So I think these sort of trends will continue to see for the next 3 to 4 years in exports.
Right, Mr. Madan, just want to get your outlook on margins, because you've seen an uptick in your margins this time around. Do you see it improving further going ahead? A number of bullish calls coming in from analysts on the margin front. Where do you come in?
I think margins-wise, we had guided that there will be an improvement of about 150 basis point margin improvement in the tractor business. And on top of that, there's also some improvement which has come because of GST coming into play from 1st of July. Because of the top line has been declining by about 7% because of the change in GST rate. So that itself has led to about 0.7, 0.8% margin improvement. So the guided will be over and over the GST impact will be there. So overall, we expect still about 2% plus sort of margin growth should happen on a full year basis on the tractor business as well as for the overall company.
Right. So what about the railway side? Do you think that it has seen some positivity, the other two segments also in PBT terms? So what's the outlook for the other segments in terms of operational profitability? Do you see now upside increasing there?
So railway, we have a very strong order book as of now. We're sitting almost 275 plus sort of order book, which takes care of almost next full year sale. So we expect that business is continuing to do well, and we will really show good growth rate there, about 20% plus this year, as well as going forward maybe next 3 to 4 years. And the margin was also has been expanding the margins. So the last year, 12.5% sort of margin. We have really ended this year about 14-15% margin on a full year basis. And that should remain sustainable margin at least for the next 2 to 3 years.
I suppose you recently launched the electric tractor in September. What's the plan and the kind of volume growth that you're looking at pushing over the longer term there?
So that was the concept tractor which we had launched really to showcase the technology capability of the company. And we are working on commercializing this tractor now very soon. So maybe another 12 to 18 months time frame. But you see this tractor getting launched and it will be commercially available to the farmers in the country.
All right, we leave it at that. Thanks so much, Mr. Madan, for joining us. That's Bharat Madan, Group CFO at Escorts, really running us through the factors playing into the November auto sales numbers this time around. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Trending Today.
More news and updates continue on the other side. Thank you so much for watching.